this is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator and host, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Michael Huber.
Hello, where do I put my bet?
Brad Ellis.
Hola.
And Brandon Jones.
Allies, assemble.
Yeah, Huber.
Put it in your pocket, dude.
Put it in your pocket. Put your bet someplace safe. No, I mean, don't put it there, dude.
Why?
Kyle's
It's
gonna look at it.
folded.
So to listeners,
Heavily folded.
we write our bets down. We're gonna play bets at the end of the show. I guess we're that's foreshadowing.
Oh, the end.
Yeah. So you gotta
like the old days.
guard that. How's everybody doing though?
Good.
Great.
Looking good, sounding good.
Oh yeah, we have our new microphones granted to us from our patrons on our Patreon page.
Please and thank you.
I hope we sound great. It feels cool. A lot of people said table, but I don't think they were expecting us to have these robot arms reach across our shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like robot, just like.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm feel boxed in, but it's cozy.
Yeah, we're boxed.
It's cozy because we're all friends. We're
Okay,
allies.
so then before we start, Hubert, let's see if you can do some gesticulation. Okay?
Okay. It's my specialty.
Yeah. Something great has happened. Something bad has happened. Something you're really curious about is happening. And you know what? It's making you sad. Okay, for listeners, Huber went through 4 great emotions. He gesticulated, and it looks like we're fine.
I'm good. Didn't hit one chord.
Yeah, I don't think we're inhibited at all.
But you forgot one of the most important ones.
Sorry.
I'm surprisingly hyped. That's like a flail.
Oh, we
you know?
can't
There
flail.
we go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Watch your
Yeah.
bumps.
Okay,
So
so
if I'm surprised,
You might have to have Huber
surprisingly
be an
hyped-
anchor when he's on.
I'm afraid this podcast won't have anyone being surprisingly hyped. That's just one of the. So let's go into corrections. Begin corrections music, please. We don't have too many this week. There are actually many people who still intend to finish Mass Effect 3 and who do not know how it ends.
Oh, cool.
Me!
Us.
Me!
Even you?
Yeah.
Both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so
Yeah.
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
People are still out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of us.
I beat 1
Okay.
and 2 and have somehow dodged all spoilers.
That's
Huber told me it was boring,
Yeah.
so I didn't play it.
yeah.
Well, the thing
I
about,
played
the
like
thing
5
about that
hours.
ending that you have to
I
understand
played 5
is
hours and it was
You said it was bad. I was like, all right, because I hate Mass Effect 1.
It felt
Whoa.
disconnected from emotion. 2 is so emotional. It's one of my favorite games ever. Phenomenal game. Couldn't put it down. 3, I got like 5, 6, 7-ish hours in, and it just felt so disconnected.
Okay.
I didn't feel anyone.
But you still intend to finish it someday.
Yes, when the 4th one gets closer, I'll be like, all right, gotta catch up. Here we go.
Finish
Okay.
the fight.
Finish the fight.
It's gonna be worth it. It does set up what the 4th one is. Okay, so Brandon said a lot of names at the end of last week's episode. Obviously, he's not gonna get them all right, but there's one particular last name that we gotta set the record straight on this, and that is Win,
right,
which Brandon pronounced Nguyen.
right.
Naguya.
Brandon, we had a
Sounds like a Mortal Kombat character.
we had a coworker for many years,
Right.
whose last name was Win. It was Chris Win.
Right.
You believed his last name to be Nguyen. He never corrected you.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that.
So in Brandon's defense,
Oh my
That's so good.
he called him Chris Nguyen, was never corrected. So why would
I'm
you
like
think?
painstakingly trying to pronounce like multitudes of Japanese names and like finally getting them right.
Yeah.
You know, like understanding the difference between like some people are Yamashita and some people are Yamashita. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, but it's preference. You know, you gotta like figure out what's
Sasuke.
dominant.
Yeah.
Sasuke instead of Sasuke. You
Yeah.
know, like, but just,
Shikamaru.
you know, the guy down the hall.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. Well, we got it now. Win. Chris Win. They're all wins. And then lastly, the lock-in sound was a little loud. We're sorry about that. It'll be slightly softer this week.
Oh, I mean that's on me. I always thought the lock-in sound. See, I'm cutting this podcast now.
Yeah.
I always thought the lock-in sound was a
Yeah, I
little-
thought it was supposed to be real intense.
locking that baby in.
Yeah.
I would
This
look
is
at
a big
the
deal.
motion you would do every time, like the strain that you would put on that motion. And I wanted it
This
to
ain't
match.
like a
But if
play-
it's
a
too hot,
play
it's too
safe.
hot.
So Brandon, if you're saying no apologies, I guess we keep it how it is.
I'll compromise. I'll
Okay.
drop it down.
It could be even a little louder.
apologies.
It'll be softer. I can't promise it'll be a lot softer.
End corrections music. That was fun. Let's get into news. So I gotta be honest, not a lot of news this week. We got some rumors, and you know I love talking about rumors. All right, this is a rumor that was published, picked up by a few video games blogs and sites. This year's Call of Duty is going full on sci-fi. Now, before we dig in too much, let me explain what happened here because I feel kind of bad about it. This got to Eurogamer and got to Game Informer simply because NeoGAF member Shinobi, who is he's Newman on Seinfeld. That's how you could remember his icon.
yes.
He said 2 things on NeoGAF, and then everything spiraled out of control from there. I guess he's in the know. But anyway, let's talk about this. So Eggbox says, wasn't Ghost already sort of futuristic though? Not to the level of Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare, but still there. Shinobi says, this makes Black Ops 3 feel like the Stone Age, metaphorically, of course.
Damn.
El Chino says, are we talking Battlefield 2142 style? Shinobi says, very far future, space combat, full-on sci-fi. So anyway, it's kind of like the cyclical nature of NeoGAF and news sites. So then I think Eurogamer picked that up and said, hey, this corresponds to what we're talking about. And then NeoGAF talked about it more, and then Game Informer talked about it more. Basically, it's a pretty semi-confirmed rumor. You have to, obviously none of that is true, but I'd like to talk about it as if that is true. Can that be a good thing?
Sure.
It has
Maybe
me
a
the
good thing.
most interested I've been in Call of Duty in a long time.
Whoa, really, Brad?
Just, I don't know, just the idea of, like, space combat or whatever.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of sweet.
They already did that, and it was
I haven't
so
played
stupid.
Call of Duty since, like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
In-
I've been out.
When did they already do that? They didn't do what Brad wants.
Ghosts, you are in space shooting enemies, and it is so
Bad?
bad.
Oh,
There was
man.
also
Oh, man.
so
there was
bad.
also zombies on the moon.
Hype Dead.
And zombies on the moon.
Hype Dead? No?
But granted, Ghost is by far the worst Call of Duty, mainline at least. It is my least
What
favorite.
if they
Call of
have,
Duty.
like, mechs or something, dude? And it just turns into Gundam.
I'm getting like a Killzone Shadowfall vibe. Like, how far
Wait.
future can you go? What can
You can't get a vibe yet because we have 2 sentences from Shinobi.
future, right?
Yeah,
I'm thinking like laser blasters and giant mechs. Like, I can't really see how far in the future they could go. Like, is it just laser guns? Is everyone gonna have a laser gun?
What's wrong with laser guns?
Yeah, what's your problem, dude?
I don't know. Like, Black Ops 3 I loved Black Ops 3 because it was a future I could see. It was a realistic future. It was like 20, 30 years, 40 years in the future, and the technology in that game seems like it could one day exist.
Yeah.
And I love how that game is like somewhat grounded in reality. You're going through all the people's dreams and computers.
frozen forest?
Where's all this crazy stuff?
You're going through dreams
Yeah.
in that game?
Yeah, kind of.
No!
It's the best.
I don't like that.
It's
Oh,
the
Brad,
best.
if you were there,
You will.
No,
if
I'm
you
not
were
gonna
there-
I have it, and I will not play it.
Black Ops
my
3
God.
is the best. When it's so far into the future, I don't know. I just
it
doesn't-
it loses the groundedness.
it
is what
loses the
you're saying.
groundedness,
Fuck the
and it
groundedness,
gets
dude.
me.
Well, I think it does if they. Here's what they can't do. If they're
Okay.
going to do that, that sounds intriguing. Like lasers. We have to have had lasers in some. It has to be like some DLC, like near the end
Yeah.
of a Call of Duty's DLC cycle, where they're just like
Probably, yeah.
and lasers. But I can't say that definitively, but like.
Oh, in
I think-
multiplayer, there's lasers.
Yeah, I think my big question is not necessarily what that game's going to be, but then you can't go further. Then you can't, like, if you're going to jump and go 100, 200 years in the future, fine. But then your next game can't be like even further in the future. It's like, no, you've got one shot to do that.
They'll just go back
And
to
then
World War II after
and then
that.
you're done. I wonder, yeah.
That's what I was hoping.
If they're like, let's just wrap up, let's all the ideas that we had in Ghosts and Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3 that we were like, yeah, but that's like 500 years down the road. It's like, ooh, here we have this 500 pages of all these wacko ideas that we couldn't do because it wouldn't make sense. That's way off in the future.
I don't know.
Sky's the limit.
It sounds like you got your future that's semi-possible, like 30 or 40 years or whatever. Why not go nuts, dude?
Why
Try
not
something
go nuts?
different.
Yeah, it's true. Like, Call of Duty is always my game to kind of just let loose, go crazy, and kind of just enjoy the ride. And Black Ops 3 was my favorite because it was grounded and realistic.
Your favorite Call of Duty?
It is, honestly, it is. Yeah,
Mine too.
Black Ops 3.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Black Ops 3
Jones
hands down.
too?
Yeah.
I've liked campaigns better in some games. I've liked multiplayer modes
it's my
better in
favorite
some
campaign,
games. As far as
too.
a complete package, it's my favorite Call of Duty, hands down.
And I finished every single Call of Duty except like the big red one.
Guys, I
And
gotta
Black
say,
Ops 3
those
is
are
my
two
favorite.
very hot opinions
Yes.
that I don't think a lot of our listeners share. They're gonna say Modern Warfare 2 is the best.
I'm going to say Call of Duty 2, the OG.
Cool.
Yeah, with the launch
that
of
so much.
Xbox 360.
No,
That's
PC,
the one,
PC.
right?
PC.
3 was
Oh, yeah,
three
it
was
was on
Xbox
Xbox
360.
360.
Yeah,
And 2, yeah. But back to the whole space thing. Like, if they go crazy with it, like Brad was saying, just completely off the rails, then I'm okay with that. But if they do some crazy, super thousands of years in the future and try to take it seriously, I guess my mind will have a harder time trying to take it seriously because it's just so out of control, way in the future. Lasers.
Wait, aren't there like super like out of control future things you like though? Like Star Wars?
Dude, Star Wars is grounded, man. It's that classic tale.
Also,
Dude,
Star Wars is in the
there's
past.
The fucking force of people flipping around and Yoda and shooting lightning out of their fingers and shit.
Yeah, I wonder if I think most movies that go super sci-fi start dipping into mysticism. I wonder if they're willing to do that with this.
People are gonna have the force in it, yeah.
I hope so.
Confirmed.
Well, we can only hope. I just think it's cool. It's a cool rumor. It's one that is
yeah.
at least interesting.
Think
It's
about
one
where
that
your
sparks
brain
our
goes every time you hear
imaginations.
about what the next Call of Duty is going to be. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas like with this, it's like, whoa, what if like civilization totally falls? What if it's like Primal kind of? You know, what if it's like Horizon? You know, where like literally like that giant war happened, everybody got, you know, annihilated, and it's kind of like Final Fantasy VI, where it's like we're rediscovering technology. You know, it's like it's the first world conflict after the one that destroyed the Earth,
Right.
of everyone kind of discovering each other again.
War of the
you know?
Magi,
Like,
dude.
It's just
I'm not saying it's gonna be that, but it's
I
like
love
my
it.
brain starts jumping around.
Yeah, I love that we have three people who have different vibes on what this could potentially be. I think that's interesting.
another thing too is you take a franchise like Battlefield and you change the time periods, right? You do modern, you do Vietnam, you do the future. The way those games play, depending on the time period, completely changes. Like Battlefield 2142 with mechs and everything is way different than the jungles of Vietnam. Whereas Call of Duty always plays the same. So it's hard to get super excited about space. I think it's just like I think it's window dressing.
I think they make small changes though. Like, they'll add some new tweaks to everything, like when they added wall running or like whatever the jetpacks they've been adding.
But it's still like at its core the same. Whereas the next Battlefield is rumored to be World War I. That gets me way more excited than
Oh my
well,
god,
that's because
dude.
you like
Yes.
Battlefield more though.
World
anyways.
War One was hellish.
that game's gonna be nuts.
Well, there's more
No,
to World War One than
yes.
just trenches.
It's gonna be like reloading your gun. I
Yes.
don't know, dude.
Reloading
Reloading your gun?
I don't
one
know,
shot.
man.
Every
man.
bullet counts.
Gun jams.
Yeah, gun jams, dude.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy. I mean, if they get a multiplayer game in space working.
That's the thing. It was. Yeah. I think I'm just.
What if this is like what everyone wanted out of Battlefront? Like, what if we get huge spaceships we're coming in and out of, landing inside of them, invading this? Like,
I don't think it will be, but that would be cool.
you're right, Brad. I'm thinking.
I
a
don't
little
think
too-
it will be
That's
that
the
way.
thing.
No, I
That's
like
what-
it.
I
Dream
guess that's
big.
what's exciting is that we're dreaming big.
Dream big.
Before we move on, though, I do want to ask the panel if we think sci-fi is simply just a more marketable decision right now.
Yes. It's probably why I'm a little. It's just there's been so much sci-fi lately.
Yeah, there has been,
So much.
and there hasn't been like a authentic historical games in a while. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
And maybe you could count Assassin's Creed.
Because even post-apocalyptic is sci-fi in a way. Like everything is post-apocalyptic, sci-fi, fantasy, even sci-fi/fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe just a little burnt out.
Except when Deus Ex comes out, right?
That's
Oh,
right.
that's some good
That's
sci-fi.
right. That's
That's some
yeah.
good
yeah,
sci-fi.
yeah. He knows me. He knows me.
Okay, let's move on. Moving on to rumors that have been proven fake. Have you all seen the NX controllers that were leaked?
Yes.
last
yeah,
fall?
Oh my god, I'm so glad
Thank
it's
God.
fake.
Yes, thank God.
I'll do my best to. Let's all do this together to explain this to people who haven't seen them, especially listeners. So here's what happened. Somebody popped up on Reddit very suddenly saying, "Hey, I've seen the NX controller. Here it is. It's shaped like an oval. I mean, I guess it looks exactly like something that Nintendo patented actually last year. So I mean, there was some like little basis of truth, which is what makes these rumors so juicy.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was it? It was like a screen. It was like an ovular screen.
Like a football-shaped screen.
A football-shaped screen with two analog sticks that pop out of it in the middle of it. No buttons.
No, thank you.
And so it looked kind of real. There was a huge issue with this first image that popped up on Reddit in that it had a cropped image from an Unreal Engine demo. And at that point I said, oh, this is fake. That perspective couldn't possibly be inside of this camera. You know what I mean? And so I was like, oh, that's fake. We can move on. I didn't even talk about it on last week's podcast. Not worth it.
Debunked.
Yeah.
You knew it.
Then the next day, my faith was shaken when an even more realistic image of it popped up, and there were multiple images. These turned out to be somebody who printed out a 3D model of the thing that the other guy made on Photoshop and photoshopped in.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, this was
love the
great.
internet.
This was a really fun hoax. A lot of people got tricked. Those two people worked really hard on their hoaxes.
Hoax
Should
of
have
the year.
saved April
Yeah.
Fool's is right around the corner.
No,
Should've
you
saved-
sniff it
too
out on April
obvious.
Fool's.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
I think we get to rewrite the rules for the Easy A Game of the Year awards. I put my vote in for Hoax of the Year.
Hoax of the year is a
Hoax
good
of the
idea.
year.
This is front runner for hoax of the year
Because
for
it's
sure.
awesome. It's so funny. You think about. I mean, like we were stressed out, launching Easy Allies. So like you have this thing that people don't know about. We're excited to introduce them. It's like you imagine the excitement and the fear this guy has, like putting this whole lie together.
Yeah.
Knowing full well every part of
Yeah,
it
he's
is
just
just
sitting
complete
back,
bullshit. But like
laughing.
he's gotta play it just right. It's like
Oh, and to see the reactions. Because
yeah.
people were so mad. They were
for
so
sure.
mad at Nintendo.
when some guy makes a video meme out of your lie, it's like what you're done. What
Yeah.
what greater achievement have you do you have on planet Earth?
Oh, I mean, like the best
Well,
part
saving someone's life.
was that there were people on NeoGAF who like thought they had triangulated where this office was, and they were willing to blame a particular like developer, and like even like going to that developer's website and saying, "Hey, that guy's hair is pretty familiar with like the one that's in the reflection of
my
one of these
God.
NX controllers." Like going that deep, and it was all nonsense.
That's rad.
Like how that disillusionment. But anyway, what is so fun about this moment is that I feel like times like these are time capsule moments. We won't have this with the NX for long. Soon we will know what the NX is, and this couldn't happen any other time than now. So what I want to do on the podcast today is talk about this stuff we can't talk about 3 months from now when we find out that it's like the Super Amiibo machine, whatever it turns out to be. I want to talk about
Prince Amiibo.
what your hopes are. What your hopes are for the NX. Let's put some thoughts into our time capsule. Jones, go ahead. You don't have to raise your hand on this show.
My dream is that it's something smaller than the gamepad, and I can take it with me. So that I don't have a Wii U anymore. I don't have a 3DS anymore. It's a 3DS that when I bring it home, if I walk into the room with this portable thing, it turns the system on. And
So
I
you would
can keep playing and just go right in.
You would be perfectly fine if the device looked exactly like the leaked ones. Is that what you're telling me right now?
No, because the leak ones don't have buttons, or was that?
Yeah.
No. It's
So we
like-
got to have buttons.
Gotta
Can we
have
can we
buttons.
agree
Gotta
here?
have buttons. Gotta have buttons. If I download a mobile game and it has one of those up, down, left, right like things, right, you can press anywhere on the screen to move. Nope.
Delete.
Like, I'm not. Yeah, there's no way. Like I'm
Yeah.
never gonna. If there's some old classic game that it's like, oh, it's now on mobile. It's like I'm not gonna play that because it's not. I'm not gonna have that joy of just putting my thumb somewhere and not even thinking. I'm never gonna look at my thumb because I know what up is. I know what down is. I know what diagonal is.
Even RPGs, man.
Sure.
Even RPGs suck with no buttons.
Yeah, Final Fantasy on mobile. I have it on my phone. It's like that's so tedious. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah, I played that for a
the
while,
up
too.
down left thing is just like it takes up like a fourth of the screen.
Actually, before we dip into our time capsule, I do want to talk about this no buttons thing because at the height of these, like everybody is buying into these rumors, Andy McNamara, editor-in-chief at Game Informer, had a tweet. I got to share the tweet. Andy said, "I had heard that the NX wouldn't have face buttons, so the leaked pictures match what I was told, but was unable to confirm."
But you can confirm it now, or you were unable to confirm because you didn't have the pictures of the
Yeah,
information.
yeah.
Okay. Not that he
So-
was under embargo or anything.
Andy Mack he was not willing to say those images were real, but obviously he shouldn't tweeted that now that we know they weren't. He kind of shared some information he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Do we believe that? Do we believe that
Company that
potentially?
slam dunked the D-pad is gone with buttons. It's like the company that put the giant red button on the GameCube controllers. No more buttons.
I learned it's the first company ever to assign letters to buttons is Nintendo. How crazy is that? Nintendo loves buttons.
A and B.
A and B.
Start select.
Yeah. Panel, is that so? Before we do go to time pack capsule, is that even possible? Would you even tolerate a Nintendo controller with no buttons?
I'll always give them benefit of the
I
doubt,
will
but I'll be
always
sad.
give
Yeah.
them a chance,
Yeah.
no
I'll be sad.
matter
Always
what.
do.
Every single time, even though the Wii and the Wii U have been my least favorite Nintendo systems, there's always redeeming qualities. Especially after working with all of you. I love Nintendo, but after working with all of you for so long, and Ben and everyone, it's almost like I hate Nintendo because you all love it so much. And they're like, Ben always points out, and you gave me the gift of Tropical Freeze, Bossman. I'm forever grateful. And of course, like Mario Galaxy, there's always something there that you can only get there. There's always something that only Nintendo offers you. So forever, until the day I die, I will always give them a shot.
So, Brad, basically that tweet fills me with fear. Are you saying that I should not be fearful?
No, you should always be afraid.
Oh my god.
I adore Nintendo, but I am always so nervous about what they're gonna do. Like when I saw the Wii U gamepad, I was like, no, please don't be real.
You were right though. In that case, you were totally right. Your first assessment was 100% correct.
Gosh, oh man, I just feel like I've watched them make decisions that I like. Nintendo has changed from the company that I grew up with them, but that's okay. But they're just not appealing to me as much anymore. But I want Nintendo to be great. I just want better from them. But when I saw that football shaped thing with no buttons, it's like, no, please don't do this. Please be fake. Please be fake. Please be fake. So I oh my god, I hope so bad it's fake, dude. I can't handle that.
Okay. But, I mean, Brad, you just said you would give them the benefit of the doubt.
I can be scared, but still try it.
Okay. I mean, we're all trying it.
Yeah, we're all gonna try it.
Trying it.
Or be like, okay, you got Zelda, I'm gonna play it.
Brad's coming to my house at 3 a.m. to wake me up so we can go pre-order.
It's true, I did
It
do
could
that.
look like a little ball of nails, and they say, "We're sorry, you have to swallow this," and I'll be like, "Okay."
Yeah, I'd
Oh,
swallow it.
man, all right.
For sure. I'm swallowing it.
But while I'm making weird like metaphors like that, let's go back into our dream boxes,
Okay.
our time capsules. Hubert, what do you want this to be?
I want it to be powerful.
Yeah, that's why I don't like Jones's thing. He's just like, oh, I just want something
Yeah, I
I can
want a
take.
handheld.
Out.
No, I
do you-
want that, like, blow it up.
Yeah, Jones, let's blow this up.
We need
Well,
powerhouse.
Maybe there's games.
We need some juice. I don't want this thing launching already 3 years back in tech. Like Ben even said it earlier. Video games, no matter like whether we love it or hate it, they are tied to technology so much. And when the Wii comes out and the Wii U comes out, and they're already so far behind technologically, like technology's moving so fast. The Wii U is outdated within like a year, and the online, like, you have to have the dongle to connect to wired internet. That is so backwards.
Okay, so NX, no dongle. Give us an Ethernet port.
NX, I want powerful internet, powerful everything, and I want it to be called Nintendo.
Dream.
Okay.
Yes, I want it to just be called regular Nintendo, and I want it to launch with a Super Mario, a Donkey Kong, a Zelda,
No.
and
man.
a Metroid.
There's
No,
no,
no, no.
way.
All
Brad,
at once.
Brad, I said give it me
We're in a
wildest
time trap,
dreams.
so we're in a
Sorry.
dream.
No judging his dreams.
Yes.
I'm
we're
judging
just,
it.
We're just pouring our little
Yes.
milkshakes into the time
Okay.
capsule.
Yes. So it launches with all those. It's called Nintendo.
Yeah.
Super powerful, and I can't see it yet because I haven't like made it to the future destination yet.
Yeah. It's
There's-
clouded.
Yeah, there's some type of innovation, but it's not an innovation that has to do with any kind of control scheme. I just want a classic control. Thank you. No motion, no touchpad, no nothing. Control is uncompromised. Classic. But there's something. There's some kind of innovation there.
Can we before we get back to Jones, can I tell you a rumor about the NX that I'm like really attached to? It's that the analog sticks will like fight back if you're running into a wall. That there would be force
Cool.
feedback in the analog sticks.
No.
Yeah, I think that would be a huge deal.
Yeah.
Like let's say like you're hitting a person and like you're like swinging to punch and like you actually stop when you like hit that body, you know what I mean, as opposed to like swinging.
What if you're like
Hitting,
playing a
man.
fighting game and someone stuns you? It like makes it move
Yeah.
in weird directions.
I would.
Or something.
That is
like,
amazing. I
Force
love
feedback
that.
analog sticks, I think, could be truly, but I think
Okay.
that might be impossible. I'm not sure. It
Nothing's
seems like
impossible.
Jones, please defend this weird little thing that you want to take on the bus with you.
What if you can only play Tropical Freeze at home? So the system is empowering only mobile games.
Okay.
It's just you can then take this thing with you, and there's some fun little mini game you can play with it on your own that's connected to Tropical Freeze. So you can earn balloons and you can earn bananas and you can do all that stuff. You can buy Wii U games and download them. Like your account is tied to it. So
you-
it's basically what it's approaching what Sony wanted to do with the Vita and the PlayStation 4, where it's like it's 1-to-1. You can just take it with you, but realizes that if you're playing it on handheld, you're likely to download your Game Boy games, 3DS games, something like that. Play that while you're mobile, or old console games, GameCube, stuff like that. But if you want to play the new stuff, if you want to play the next Zelda or the next Metroid, you have to come home and play that. But there are things you can do connected to the game on this portable device. That is the controller. It's the same thing. You come home and you use the same controller,
Okay.
and it doesn't hurt
No, go wilder.
to play.
Where's your wildest?
Where's my wildest?
Hubert gave it a name, man, and he said these are the games I want on this thing.
I'm not good at naming stuff. I'm just not. I'm not. Yeah. It's
Hey, we landed on Easy Allies.
Not not it wasn't my idea. I didn't come up with that. Yeah, just I can't remember the point I was making. Moving on.
I said no. The point you were trying to make is like what your wildest dream or what the NX will be announced.
Anything you want.
Don't
Jones.
piss us off. Like don't.
Here we go. This is
Yeah,
what I'm
don't-
talking about,
yeah,
Joe.
Okay,
Let's
you
not
want
be
my
pissed.
wild dream? I
Yes.
said this before on podcast. I almost used the F word,
This
but I
is a
stopped
whole new
myself because it's
podcast.
Nintendo conversation.
Yeah. This is a whole new podcast.
Let me buy Super Mario Brothers and own it for life. Period. Sorry, I'm gonna
That's
be that guy.
fantastic.
I'm gonna be that guy at the WWE Nintendo match with the poster in the back that says, "Let me buy Super Mario Brothers and never have to buy it again for the rest of my life." Because
WWE
then
reference.
I will shop in your store like crazy. Like it's gonna suck because you're not gonna see it long term. But like if Nintendo's in a bad place right now and they're really trying to dodge, like the Wii U was not as successful as we wanted it to be. We really got to impress people. Can you imagine like how oh my god, I own Chrono Trigger. It's like forever. It doesn't matter. It's like I got it in this little thing. I got it on the console. I got it. Like maybe they have some website or something you can play it through there. But to have some universal game thing. It's just like all I heard the last 3 years was Nintendo's closing this and launching this thing. Oh, a year later, that's closed down. Or here's the new thing. Have something called the Nintendo Store. And
Jones,
like
I
we're
think
never
that's
gonna rename
fantastic,
it.
man.
We're never gonna do anything else. It is time to invest for life.
Yeah.
Like if you're lifelong fans, if we are truly completely out of the game with everyone else and we just do our own thing, you're in. Like you're this account is your Nintendo account. Welcome to the party.
I think that's a fantastic point, and I do think that there's not a lot of consumer confidence in Wii U right now. I don't think you can feel good about buying a Wii U game and keeping it and playing
You gotta
it forever.
boot
yeah.
up the Wii to play Wii. There's like two consoles. It's like a
Yeah.
console that's pregnant with another console. It's just, it's weird.
And I think that is actually realistic, Jones. I think that could happen. Brad, time to put your portion.
My dreams.
Drop
Oh
your
my
portion into
God,
this
my
time capsule,
Nintendo
man.
dreams.
Your NX dreams in particular.
My dream was for it to be called Nintendo. Like
You
Hubert
and
said.
Hubert had the same weird dream.
I would love it if it was just Nintendo's just like boom. It's fucking Nintendo.
But
Back
then
to the
what's
roots.
What's the next thing?
They'll figure it out. Ultra Nintendo. I don't
Nintendo
know.
One.
Mega Nintendo. Something, man. I do want it to be much more powerful. I want it. It cannot, like Hubert said. Hubert's kind of nailing all the things I want about it coming out, and I don't feel like everything is compromised on it, especially third party. Nintendo needs strong third party, big time. Think about why they succeeded so hard with Nintendo and Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Third parties, man.
So you want to see it launch with Final Fantasy 15?
Sure.
Yeah.
Or something
Wouldn't
brand
that
new.
be a statement? I think
That would be a big statement.
Yeah.
If they
It's
had
not
Dragon
coming out
Quest
this
on
year.
it.
What's that?
It's not coming out this year though.
They're both coming
These
out
are
this
my
year,
dreams
baby.
right now, Hubert.
Yeah, we're
okay?
doing Brad's dreams.
This is a side bet we have.
Uh,
I want like a unified online account system. Like how everyone else has it. Like if you buy the games, it's tied to your account. Forever.
yeah.
I think Jones's idea of it, keeping your games forever, that'll never happen. But that'd be awesome.
Have you registered for a Nintendo account?
I did now.
Nice. Jones, have you?
Never.
Hubert, have you?
Like Nintendo Club?
It's new.
It's
It's
new.
new.
the new. No,
It's-
I
Yeah, I
haven't.
saw Damiani do it, so I jumped on it.
Yeah, get on that, guys, because I think that is Jones's dream. I think that's Brad's dream is the Nintendo account.
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like slowly dreams are happening.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful.
We're going to discover it very soon when Miitomo launches in the US this
Yeah.
week. I think on the 30th.
Okay.
We're going to see what
Miitomo.
Nintendo's future is.
What about you, Kyle? What are your dreams?
Oh my goodness. I didn't come prepared for
Yeah,
that.
let's go.
Dig deep.
I'm simply the
What are you
moderator.
gonna
Go.
name it, Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like it's going to be what was good about Wii is it's something you don't have to abbreviate ever. I actually think Wii in a weird way was a good name. So, I don't know, it's the Nintendo org.
The org?
Yes, it's the org.
Look at my
okay?
Nintendo.org.
That were critical of my dreams.
Yeah, everyone's dream sucks.
This thing is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
What they can
Yeah.
say
I mean,
is
with any luck, we can make fun of whatever they call it. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
hopefully
yeah,
there's some
absolutely.
jokes in there for someone.
we have to name our show something. So the org is like it's running PS4 games better than PS4 does. PS4K comes out and the org doesn't look as great, but it's like that good in between. Yeah, basically what happened was they watched a bunch of episodes of my shows and they're like, "Whoa, we haven't made a game as good as Mario 64 since that game.
Tropical Freeze.
What is wrong with us?" Tropical Freeze is fantastic. It's a 10. It's not Mario 64. Mario 64 is full of ideas. It is ridiculously full of ideas and fearlessness and exploration of what video games can be. Just down to like, you know, a progression and like your objectives. That game, I just played it for the first time last year and it blew my mind. It launches
That
with
blows my mind.
That was the first
great.
time I played
That's
it.
an opinion. That's an
Nintendo-
opinion I trust.
A huge
Yeah.
Nintendo
Coming from
fan
you
like
especially.
Yeah. That is insane.
Hey, we all missed some games here.
Yeah. I'm never like proud to be a Nintendo fan. I don't have a tattoo. It's not something that I'm just like self-identify
Sounds like a
as.
bet.
What is the bet?
Whatever the bet is, if you lose it, you get a
get a
Nintendo
Nintendo
tattoo.
We've never done a tattoo.
you gotta
bet.
get a Stantler tattooed on your butt.
Easy A, baby. We're raising the stakes.
Huber, we have a pretty big new audience, so we should tell them what our NX bet is.
Okay.
So last year, Huber and I placed a bet. Shoot, I think it was just earlier this year, man.
It was.
It was earlier this year.
Yeah.
It was in our newer office.
It was in
Yeah.
like January.
Okay, it was in January. Huber had plenty of time to like figure this out, to see the way that things are going, but it's still, he said, he stood strong.
Said there's no chance that the Nintendo NX will release to the public in the year 2016.
Even to the U.S., we said it has to release in the U.S.
US,
We have to be able to
no-
touch it at a store.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to be able to walk into a store in the US and buy it and take it home and plug it in and play it.
And then what happens if that is the truth?
If it does not come out,
Yeah.
Kyle Bossman must do 10 full minutes of stand-up comedy, jokes that have never been written down, spoken of, or used in any other capacity ever. New material.
Yes.
Brand new jokes that have never been seen by human eyes anywhere ever before.
And then I have to stream it.
Stream it live
Publicly.
This
for
sounds
10
great,
minutes.
but I'm pretty sure you'll weasel your way out.
Yeah, and since then,
I
Huber,
don't know, it's pretty bulletproof.
all of
You'll find it.
every single rumor,
I'm writing his checks, Brad. Don't worry about it.
every single thing that has come to this has said, "Oh yeah, the NX is coming out this year."
not coming.
Everything is leading to it. Anyway, when the NX does come out this year, Huber has to put on another 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes for 10 minutes, eye for an eye. He has to put on an improvised play. You got to strike Huber at his weaknesses. He hates improv. He hates comedy. Huber's going to put on an improvised play for us using action figures. I think it was, what's
Who's
up?
action figures?
All of ours.
Okay.
Huber
I
can't
can't
see
get
them.
my own action figures?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
You can't see them until before the play. We're just going to drop the action figures. And then you're going to put on like a little puppet show with the action figures for 10 minutes. And the title will be the first thing suggested by chat.
Just where I'm coming from
Yeah.
is I feel like Nintendo likes to hype up their things for a long time. So I think we're already in April pretty much. We're already in April.
Yeah.
It just
Huber,
doesn't seem like a lot of time
I see
for
your
them to be
point.
like, yo, here is the NX. Let's get it hyped. Oh, guess what? You can buy it in like a month. I just don't think that's their style.
Remember like how much hype like the new 3DS had? You know
But
what I mean?
it's an iteration of an existing console.
I guess that's true.
It's like it's not like a brand new
E3
fresh
announcement
thing.
sounds pretty hyped to me.
Yeah, did
Yeah.
they show like the
As
Wii?
much as I don't believe that's
And
gonna
it came out that year at E3.
They had the Revolution for a long time.
They,
so
but
the
they
Wii was
didn't like
technically-
show it though. Is
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Like we have the NX for a long time.
Yeah.
But when they actually reveal it, didn't it come out that same year?
That's a great question, Brad. I'm gonna say
Corrections.
yes. I'm gonna say yes. I think
And
from
the Wii U, right?
I
Didn't
think
they do
from the
same
time it
thing?
was called Wii, it released the year they named it Wii.
Nintendo doesn't like to announce something like officially announce it and wait a long time.
I think it's coming. They're going to announce it at E3. It'll come out in November, December in Japan. March in
those
US.
days are done.
And
March
so
in US.
to new listeners and viewers, that's why we like to place bets. Is any blowhard on a podcast can say this is what will happen, but we
Yeah.
put stakes on those things.
Yes.
Back your words up.
Yep. I will eat my words and deeds.
You will feel ashamed.
I'll feel ashamed.
Hey,
Everyone, it's time for our a new segment that I'm very excited about. It's called Podcast Halftime. Jones, take us away.
The Easy Allies podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure game. Coming soon, or maybe not. It's in development right now. Go to Scorn Scorn, what's the hyphen?
You're blowing it,
Botched.
Josh.
It's botched.
You're botched it,
I'll
Josh.
never ask this question again. It's a hyphen, right?
What is it? Show us.
Like a dash.
Dash.
Scorn dash?
Dash.
Did I always say
Oh,
dash?
everyone says dash.
Dash.
It is a hyphen, but you
You
don't
gotta,
say
you
dash.
gotta, you gotta from the top on that one.
Yeah.
redo.
From the top.
How about Scorn here?
Yeah. Scorn
An
hype.
atmospheric horror adventure game. Go to scorn-game.com. YoYoTricks.com. Buy yo-yos and learn how to use them. They also have a YouTube channel, so go and subscribe. Check out yoyotricks.com. Buy yourself a yo-yo. YXBA, the YouTube channel devoted to all things Nintendo. Checked it out. Lots of Nintendo love for you there. Check out YXBA at YouTube and subscribe. We also have two excellent sponsors, Michael Kozachenko and Devin Gibbs, that are just nice people.
Do you think
Thank you, sponsors of the Easy Allies podcast.
Sorry. Do you think YXBA thinks we're a bunch of fucking idiots
Yes.
with our Nintendo
Oh,
opinions?
yeah. After
I'm
that
sure.
last segment,
I eagerly await the video saying
that sponsorship is gone.
Okay.
We lost
Sorry.
that
Okay.
one.
Like, NX not coming out this year. Bye.
Thank you so much to everyone.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Let's come back in. That was halftime.
And those are not only sponsors of the podcast, those are sponsors of Easy Allies.
yes.
The entire
yeah.
channel.
Yo-yo.
Thank
that
you.
sounds so fun. I love
YoYoTricks.com.
yo-yos.
Yo-yos.
Wait, are you good at yo-yos, dude?
I can do basics, but I'm kind of a psycho.
Can you
with a
walk the
yo-yo.
dog?
I can walk the dog.
Wait, what do you mean you're kind of a psycho?
I like throwing a yo. Like
Oh, I
if
get
a
you.
yo-yo's
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
hand, I'm throwing
It's a
that
weapon.
thing. Yeah.
It's a weapon.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So it's actually time for love and respect. Love and respect.
I didn't know this bit. I
job,
wasn't.
Brad.
I was never here for that.
Good job,
I
Brad.
botched it.
On it.
No one ever told me.
I almost got there.
No dash for Jones. No love and respect for Brad. Growing pains. Transition.
I had no idea.
You know
what was,
what?
I had
No,
no, idea
no.
what was going
Oh, no,
on.
We're doing it again.
Okay.
Brad, this is so simple.
I'll kill you.
Love and respect.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't know what the hell was going on.
It's
I
Well,
thought this
yes,
was just
you
some
now.
bossman shit like always when you're playing
Brad,
with something.
How much clearer could this be?
I was never on it forever this.
Love and respect. The
This guy,
mystique
dude.
gone.
so love and respect.
The mystery solved.
Love and respect. This is, of course, the segment in which we take suggestions for topics and questions from our patrons, from our $5 patrons on patreon.com/easyallies. Our first comes from Burmahama Mamadan. Jones, I know you're paying now.
What?
That was a tough name, man.
Read it again.
Okay.
Let's go.
Burma
Burwahama Mamadan. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
What you said, I didn't say.
You threw it
correctly.
back to me. You're like faster than I could read
No,
it.
I got it wrong.
Oh, okay. I would like for you guys to touch upon the separate release dates for Dark Souls 3, as a lot of fans of the series are mad about this. I feel that From Software and Bandai Namco haven't been addressing this completely well. I personally know it's partially because of the Japanese fiscal year ending March 31st, but I wanted to get your opinion on this. Is this okay, or are we too global of a planet nowadays that this is actually hurting sales and possibly changing the minds of fans? So before we answer this, this game is already out in Japan and not out until April
12th, I think.
12th in the
I'm on
US.
blackout. Sorry. 12th, I think.
You're
No?
blackout on the release
I'm
date?
blackout on everything.
Oh my gosh. It doesn't come out
You
until
got
like
ads? I don't see it.
nearly a month later
Yep.
in the US and globally.
I'm so used to growing up and Japan getting games years before us, where this is fine. And I still feel like From Software is like a relatively small company. I know that sounds crazy because of the Bloodborne and the Dark Souls success, but it's not like Ubisoft or Activision or Blizzard where they can just have like this mega global release. I think, like the fiscal year in Japan, and they're a Japanese company. I think it's easier for them to
You
ship
sound
there.
very understanding right now, Hugo.
Yeah.
You're cool with this.
Let it cook. No rush. What's the rush?
The rush is there are people enjoying this game you've been waiting years for, and you can't touch it.
Well, no one's been waiting years for it.
It's good because
We've only known about it for less than a year.
You've been waiting for it
Yeah.
since the end of Dark Souls 2 when
good.
it ended
Well,
on a
because when
cliffhanger.
Dark Souls 2 ended, I knew Bloodborne was coming.
Oh,
So
so
no.
so actually that's a fair point. Is like you don't even feel like this wait has been that long.
no,
Yeah,
not at all.
no.
There's been so much Souls in Bloodborne. It's
Yeah.
like overload. So I'm good for. I'm good with
I
it.
was, as someone who has not given a damn about that series until very recently, like, I was surprised Dark Souls 3 got announced when it did. I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's weird that's not coming out on the same day. Namco Bandai is a big publisher. It's got to be for the financial reasons or something. Like, I don't understand why. I think they're missing a huge opportunity though by having it out, and I think it's just like see it everywhere, man, and it sucks. I have to dodge it everywhere.
Where are you dodging it?
Everywhere. Internet,
Yeah.
complete blackout.
Do you go to
Like if
what
I'm
about
on
Twitter?
Twitch, I'm on Twitch quite a bit. I just
Yeah.
see that night like sitting there on the box. I'm just like, God,
Yeah, I saw some bosses when I was on Twitch yesterday.
yeah.
Just from
People
the
are like, oh
commercials.
man, Dark Souls 3 is so good. This
You know,
blah, blah,
you know
blah.
that
Yeah.
PS4 stream screen on the bottom when you load up the game?
Dude,
so it's going to
that thing's
spoil it
lethal.
for you.
I-
That
yeah,
guy's
that-
lethal.
You know that thing is
Yeah.
going to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal.
Got to be safe, Brad.
I've been safe. I've been so good.
No, unplug your PS4, dude.
It's just
I don't even look at that stuff.
I
don't go
it
down.
spoiled Life is Strange. It spoiled the ending of Life is Strange for me.
Wait.
I literally glanced down for a second and was like, thanks.
So yeah, Brandon, that just happens like if you own the game, right?
Yes.
It's like people are streaming this on Twitch.
You own the
right
game,
now.
it'll show
when did
you
that happen to
one
me?
of the most popular Twitch streams that's on right now, and it'll pick an image from it. And I finished episode 4 of Life is Strange and started 5, and they were like, "Here's a guy's playing 5 right now," and the
Yeah.
screenshot clearly spoiled my expectations going
Yeah,
into 5.
Sony, you gotta fix that.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
bad.
That is
just fix
such an
that.
easy fix. Like, don't do that anymore.
Just show the game logo and the name of the streamer. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that. But
Don't
like,
put that
don't
right
do
in
a
your
screen
line.
grab.
To people who are owning and playing the game right now, that ain't right.
Kyle, to
yeah.
just quickly close my point.
Okay.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Wow.
That's it.
You're not
Father
mad.
Ellis.
You're
Yeah.
just disappointed. I mean, I guess we can talk a little bit before we move on about how this was technically available on Xbox One.
Shady
backdoor deals for this.
procuring.
So, what would I have to do to buy this game right now on an Xbox One?
Didn't you have to like go on a Japanese account or you jerry rig it somehow? I
You
didn't
had to
really
do
look
some
at the
jerry
details.
rigging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't look exactly how to do it.
Why not?
Media blackout.
But you could play it right now. You could buy that game right now and play through it.
The thing. So this is not really answering the question, but it's my philosophy. It's like we live in a time when there are too many games. I mean, like Deus Ex is coming down the line. Uncharted 4 is like my most anticipated game ever. But like, I'm just on the here and now. You know, there are so many games right now in this moment. We got Quantum Break coming up, and it's just like I gotta enjoy them as they come instead of like pining for the one weeks ahead of time. You know, there's just too much.
I get that.
It's too much.
Brad, you feel the
No
same?
rush.
Brad, you are a Souls freak. You could be playing the game right now. You don't have to be sweating
I
this
can
out.
wait.
Why are you waiting? Why won't you be a little skeeve bag and like become a Japanese person on
Because
Xbox
he loves
Live?
it.
Yeah.
Because it
I
means
appreciate
that
it
much
so
to him.
much.
Yeah?
The biggest thing on that is people haven't been able to play it online that have done that.
Yeah,
trick.
that's a big problem
is that
for me
the loop?
too.
and
Is
that
that
is a
the
huge
issue?
thing. Like you gotta
Okay.
play the game in its intended
I want to
format.
play how it's meant to be played
How it's
when I
meant to
first
be.
do.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Brad is a purist. He absolutely
Oh
is.
yes, if it's something I really care for, I ain't talking to no one. I'm playing it alone.
Intended format.
Have you ever been with like a group of friends and someone says something like kind of intolerant and like everyone's a little uncomfortable? We were having lunch last weekend and Ben was talking about Dark Souls 3 and I saw that face on Brad while Ben was talking about
Like,
Dark
Ben,
Souls 3.
dude, you gotta stop talking about it.
It
Man.
was like that.
No, it's about. I was having lunch today. I had lunch
He
today
was like,
with him.
dude, you can't say things like that.
I had lunch today with him, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Oh man, I really want to talk to you guys about Dark Souls 3." And then he talks about Dark Souls.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Ben told me stuff I didn't want to know.
I don't want to know this.
Yeah.
It's about the mystery.
Damn it, Ben.
So I guess to Burwa, I guess what we would say is,
Just a little longer.
Can I weigh in on this?
yeah, please.
Because I want to answer the question you actually asked originally.
Yeah,
Is
please
this,
do.
Is this bad for them?
Yeah.
Because I think, is it a bad idea and is it bad for them are two different questions. Is it a bad idea? I have no idea. I don't run their business. I don't live in Japan. So, like, I don't know the difference between launching something in your home country, which is not mine, and then launching it in another country. You imagine yourself launching a game in the U.S. and then porting it to to Europe, then porting it to, or then releasing it in Europe, then releasing it in Japan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure there's sound financial reasons. Is it going to be worse than launching everywhere at the same time? Definitely.
Yeah.
It's like having 2 birthdays in the year. It's like you can't, it's like that, the start and stop, where it was just like, yay, it launched, and then like quiet silence, and then it launched again, and it's like, I think that second time your returns are going to be diminished. I could be totally wrong.
Yeah,
It's
so many
Souls.
people have been exposed to it already just through Twitch alone. It
Yeah.
kind of like ruins the excitement
It's
for
out
everybody. Yeah, it's like so many people already know about it.
I have been
Plus,
saying
you
on
have the
internet.
people that don't care if it's online. They just gotta
Yeah.
get it, and then that kind of just soils everything, because then those people are, commenting on their channels and commenting everywhere. It's like, well, I have played it, and they're not being truthful of how they played it. And they're like, it wasn't that great because they didn't play online, because they didn't play. Something was weird that we don't know yet is actually broken in the Xbox version. Like,
And yeah, you couldn't get the day one patch if you did it that way.
sure, yeah, there's
And,
so many
That
things.
sounds really stupid and trivial, but like, coming off The Witcher 3, a huge, massive game, like patches really helped that game in the long run. So
yeah,
That's
Bloodborne,
weird.
the first patch
Yeah,
was
Bloodborne,
awesome.
the first patch, is like you're cheating yourself. You're playing a compromised version. Yeah, it sucks that other countries have it, we don't, but it'll be here.
Yeah, I respect Miyazaki too much to do that. To
Yeah, it's
him.
his home country. Like, they made it there. It's a Japanese game. Like, they should get it first in a weird way, kind of.
Respect to Miyazaki.
A very
Yeah.
weird way.
Okay. I don't think we're gonna cover that one this week.
Let's
Okay.
cover it.
No, I got another one that's a little more. This one's even juicier. This one's like, this is really gonna dig into our philosophies. This comes from Forrest Polka. It's no secret that the overwhelming majority of the Easy Allies team are eagerly awaiting the releases of titles such as Final Fantasy 15, Persona 5, and Kingdom Hearts 3. While these,
Speaking my language.
yeah,
Yeah,
while
not
these,
speaking my language at all.
Oh, okay, all right. So at least 3 of us
Well,
here.
15.
Yeah.
Out of those games, probably 15 is I'm looking forward to most.
Cool.
It's like a New York strip and mashed potatoes. Oh my gosh, some asparagus on the side, souffle for dessert, glass of red wine. That is Final Fantasy 15.
Didn't you say you're a media blackout though?
He has been over.
has
been,
though.
Huber respects the Final
Because I
Fantasy
know
franchise.
it is going to be a masterpiece.
Well, at least somebody does. Square Enix doesn't.
And you know what's really great? I like, as a listener, I know you just heard that visualization. What you had to know is Huber had his eyes closed the whole time. He was truly feeling that
He was
through.
in his zone, yeah.
That was a genuine moment.
Cannot wait.
So here we go, though, Huber. It's time to get real. While these series have a rich pedigree, does the team believe the cartoony Japanese art style they stem from will hurt the sales in the West? We saw an accessible and familiar-looking Fallout 4 that some say gameplay-wise might not come close to what these titles will achieve, turn into a massive financial success. With the Final Fantasy 15 informational blowout about to happen, do you believe any of these titles can ride their narrative and gameplay while overcoming their Western mass audience alienating appearance and climb to the top of the US charts? Or do you not even consider a game's appearance to be an issue?
I think the last... Sorry.
Let Brad go.
I
Sorry,
saw you.
He did the weird hand
I saw
emoji.
you corner of my eye.
They did succeed when they were super Japanese. Think of like Final Fantasy 7. That's a very Japanese game, and it did very well over here. Mm-hmm. I think if they just target the audience who likes their games, they'll do better, which what they have been doing is Square Enix, and they're doing better now. I think when they're trying to appeal to too much of a broader audience, you lose your core fan base, and you'll lose what people liked about the
You
games.
lose your identity.
You do.
Yeah.
Like the 13 trilogy was a clear sign of that.
Snow in particular is like, oh, Americans, you like this guy, right?
Exactly.
And we don't.
Yeah.
I don't know who said it, but it's like by trying to appeal to too many people, you appeal to no one. Whoever said that famous quote?
Final Fantasy is a big name, and it's for a reason, because they were great games, and it didn't matter about how they looked or anything. They were just great games. They told great stories. That's why people like it. Like, some guy will complain and be like, oh yeah, it looks like a Japanese boy band or something like that. But they'll get over it.
Will they get over it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at just recently, the reaction to Ni no Kuni 2 at PSX. Overwhelmingly positive,
Yeah.
stole the show.
Yeah.
That is as Japanese anime cartoony as you could possibly get. And I think there's been a shift. Dark Souls got really huge. I know it's kind of looks Western, but even Persona 4 Golden, the resurgence on Vita, the re-release or whatever, that game got so huge and has blown up.
Yeah, but Jones, we can't compare the success of Persona to the success of Fallout, can we?
No, were you saying Persona 4 and Fallout were both successful in the United States? And
No,
for
I'm
different
saying,
reasons, or-
Compare, yeah.
like Fallout
Right.
4 was, as Forrest said in his comments, but Persona can't achieve that, can it? That's the question. Can Persona overcome what it looks like to become as successful as Fallout?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that. I just don't see the surprise. I just don't see a lot of people that 15 is gonna start being on TV commercials in the U.S. and they're like, "What? This game looks crazy." It's like you've seen hundreds of games that look like that. I think style wise, Japan's not like a shocker now. It's not like they've been making material like that for decades. I just don't see 2016 being the year that everyone is just kind of like, this Japan thing's interesting. I think we're past that.
Wait, so you think it will never happen? Is that what you're saying?
That they won't achieve that. I don't think that people will be shocked by the visuals. I think that people that have an opinion that they look like a boy band, they weren't going to play 14, they weren't going to play 13, they weren't going to play 12. They have long been out. I don't think anyone's going to make a drastic life change as far as any of those franchises are concerned based on visuals, based on style.
This is something I've really wanted to talk about.
Okay.
The Division's success scares me.
Whoa, boy.
Tangent.
Yeah, wild hot opinion.
Let's go,
coming in.
Huber.
Yeah,
Let's hear it.
no, and it's it appeals to a mass audience. Why is my brother of all people texting me about this game who he doesn't game, but he's texting me, "Hey, what's the Division all about? Should I pick it up?" It's like there's some magic sauce there that some of these games don't have. Final Fantasy 15, I think, is going to appeal to a smaller audience, and I think the question, I'm gonna say, yeah, I unfortunately think they are not going to reach the heights of games like Destiny or The Division or Fallout 4, and it's sad.
But yeah,
is it because they're single player narratives? I don't know. You look at what's a big single player game that
Skyrim,
yeah. Can it reach Skyrim levels? I don't think so. The
Isn't that
Skyrim
insane?
zeitgeist. I don't know why. Is it because of? I don't know. It's crazy. It's insane.
Brad, where do you stand on this? You've been humming and hawing over here.
I was
What's going
thinking,
on?
I don't think Final Fantasy or JRPGs will necessarily be as big as Fallout or anything like that, but I don't think it needs to be.
What does it need to be?
It just needs to be successful enough for the company to keep going, I think, to make a profit, to be happy with the sales they got. Games like Call of Duty and Fallout selling are insane amount of copies. But I don't think all games need to sell that much.
But that's scary because the companies themselves
I think they need to realize that and adjust their spending to that. They need to set their expectations. That's why companies like NIS or whatever and XE are successful, is because they set expectations on their sales, and they could sell a smaller amount of copies and still do okay and be profitable.
Think about the Xbox on the other side of that. Japan doesn't like Xbox.
It doesn't even exist.
They didn't like
anymore.
360. They don't like Xbox One, and that's not going to change. There's nothing Microsoft can do to change that. So I think Microsoft really spending a lot of time trying to figure that out is not a smart business plan. They should just kind of accept where they're at and slowly grow it without without. I think the owner coming in and telling the whole team, we got to make that US play there to broaden this Japanese franchise. Is dangerous. I'm not saying it's impossible,
360 did.
but it's just it will likely not happen.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. If Huber, I think you were right to bring up The Division. If you
It's
look,
scary. I am scared. The stakes are so freaking high for Final Fantasy 15. If Final Fantasy 15 comes out in the West, that game to me, looks like it has an astronomical budget. You go all the
does.
way back to Versus
yeah.
13.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
How many copies does this game need to sell to be a success? Like, if it
That's
doesn't
the
hit
question,
that,
yeah.
what does the future look like?
And what's
For JRPGs, that is a world I do not want to live in. Ben would be weeping on the floor right now. Like,
And what's funny with the Division, it's like, what is the visual identity of a Division character?
beanie,
Jacket.
jacket, cargo
Scruff.
pants.
You're right.
And
It's
scruff.
Like, yeah.
It's like the Tumblr article, the Tumblr thing, or like some article like a couple years ago, and it's like every Western hero looks the same, and it was like Shepard and Phoenix and Drake, and
Yeah.
all of them look exactly the same.
And I guess I don't want to rag on the Division too much.
Of
because,
course, I played the Division. It was a cool game.
yeah, it's the point of it. You're in a realistic
Yeah.
New York City. I guess that's
Yeah,
the point of it.
It's cold. You know, you don't have a lot of
you
money.
need that beanie.
You're gonna go. This is your pair of jeans. This is what you wear
Yeah.
every day. You know, it's like it's the apocalypse.
I think
I
those
just-
those types of games are hot right now too.
I want to believe in my old SpongeBob SquarePants bro theory that the bros today grew up watching SpongeBob SquarePants and they're all weirdos. I want to believe that 21-year-olds of 2016 are willing to give Final Fantasy 15 a shot, or willing to give Kingdom Hearts 3 a shot. I
Boy,
want
I
that
hope
game
so.
to sell 10 million copies. You know what I
Please
mean?
throw into a Star Wars character. You got him.
We gotta
Yeah.
get
You got 'em all.
Jones has got to
Yeah.
give it a shot.
Yeah.
Please,
Jones,
Jones.
give it a shot,
Yeah.
Jones.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Save video games,
Jones,
Jones.
save us.
Save video games.
please.
It's all on 15.
Yeah,
It's all. Yeah.
It's
So
all on
much
15,
pressure.
dude.
And
Everything's
even-
riding
but I
on
mean, if we're
15.
pointing the finger at 15, if 15 is not successful, I blame Square. 100%.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna blame the
that's
West.
Square's fault, 100%.
Why?
It's like,
That game
oh,
has
dude,
been a
we don't
mess.
know. That's a Cup of Jones episode.
Okay,
That's
all
not
right.
fault.
Look forward to Cup of Jones on that.
Who's excited?
I mean, yeah, you guys know how I feel about them naming that 15 and the,
Oh
you know, the
boy,
whole
you're right.
thing
I
of
do
it,
not
you know.
want to get into that one.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
And
It's
dragging it around for 10 years. You know, it's like that. Sorry, you
Bad.
had a
management.
game and then it was another game and then you had to delay that game and it's like, yeah, that's what happens. You know, it's like that.
look at it
That's
now.
a recipe for disaster, regardless of what country it was made in.
Kubrick took like 13 years to make a couple movies, you know? Look what happened.
Right, but he didn't like announce them until like they were ready. You know,
Yeah, that is an issue.
he
That's a
stayed
video
in his
issue at
home
large.
and worked on it
Yeah.
and kept it to himself, and then showed up to the party and was like, "Kubrick, where you been?" And he's like, "Doing this." And you're like, "Oh!" He's like, "See you in 6 years." And you're like, "Great." Whereas Square's just like, "It's this, be happy." No, it's this, be happy. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, it's this, be happy. And like,
Well, sometimes, you know, the plan gets botched.
They never pointed at us and said,
if the
"Be
plan
happy."
got botched, it's not the West's fault if you don't.
I don't think that's fair, Jones. They never pointed at me and said, "Be happy." I was be happy on my own accord because of how exciting everything I saw was.
Sure. Please be excited.
Oh my gosh.
Please be excited. Yes.
You know what, everybody? It's time for bets. Thank you for those comments. Look out for that to every $5 patron. Those come once a week, and you just leave comments on the weekly post about love and respect. And now Brad knows how to sing the song.
You gotta tell me the song first.
This-
That's on you, buddy.
This has made me so depressed. I am like nervous now about Final Fantasy 15.
The hood
this
is
game
up.
needs to sell, dude.
You're part of the problem.
I'm buying
you
it.
bought the division.
You can buy both.
You're killing Japanese video games.
buying- I'm doing
No,
my
just kidding.
part.
Yeah, do your part, dude. If you care about these games, do your part.
It's going to be up to the SpongeBob Bros.
The Sponge Bros.
The
Anything can
Sponge
happen.
Bros. And I mean, like, women as well. Absolutely. They grow up watching SpongeBob
Yeah.
SquarePants too. They're weirdos too.
I mean, I think
Everybody's
there's
weirdo
hope.
now.
The Sandys.
The Sandys. The Sandy Cheeks. Weak character, to be honest. Anyway,
The weak character. Oh my god.
Quantum Break. At least, no, Sandy Cheeks has probably evolved.
No.
She's probably,
I don't
at this
disagree
point-
with you, but the fact that you just said that
There's
is
more.
very
There's
funny
more
to me.
lore surrounding Sandy. Now.
Yeah. She's got
okay.
backstory, man.
I just think it's cheap that she's also good at karate. Anyway, Quantum Break comes out next. I said karate. I'm so
Yeah, I did
embarrassed.
listen. I heard you
Karate.
say that.
So
and I just let
embarrassed
it
that I
slide.
said that.
Karate.
Karate. Okay, I say karate.
Karate, dude.
I say karate just like everyone else. Okay.
Karate Kid.
Quantum Break comes out next week, April 5th. What we're going to do next week before our podcast, we're going to sit down, we're going to sit in this room, and we're going to watch the first episode of the series, the television series that comes within Quantum Break. Huber, is it fair to call it a television series? They kind of have been. What do we call it?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Oh, Jones is celebrating. Why?
Well, it's marketing. You know me and Mario. You know.
Yeah.
It is-
I hate false advertising, and I feel they advertised that falsely.
Okay, so should we
calling
call
it
it
a television
It
show
is
is wackadoo.
I would call it a live action cutscene.
Okay, so we're gonna watch the first live action cutscene, extended. They're long.
how
They're
long are
long.
they?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what embargo I'm under.
Oh, okay, all right.
Sketch.
Well, yeah, okay, fair enough. We'll just call them long live
Long
action
cutscenes.
cutscenes.
Yeah.
Live action cutscenes.
From the beginning of the first live action cutscene, how many seconds will it take for us to see our first blink? Now, people know that I'm stickler for rules. I double checked with Huber that he does not remember
Yeah.
how that first one even starts.
No idea. It's completely.
Well, I mean, what if it's like, I mean,
So
I'm
we're on
just devil's advocate here.
Yeah, yeah.
What if it's like 100 people? What if it's like what if it's like the shot from Force Awakens, all of the soldiers in a row, and
The
you're just like,
first
wait,
blink.
is that a blink? Is that a blink there, or is that like?
We're gonna see a blink, Jones.
Okay, it's got to be a prominent blink.
It's
No
gotta-
arguments. We all agree. Like, there it is.
That is it.
I
all
believe
in.
in Sam Lake with the blinks.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about it.
I mean, he's all about the faces matching with the live, the game and the live action. So we're probably gonna get real close.
Yeah.
Good faces.
Sean Ashmore was there, and he's just like,
Great
could you
faces.
hold on the blink, please? And it's like, okay, all right, I won't blink yet. So anyway, who should reveal first? I guess we'll just do the same order we did last time. Jones, go ahead, reveal first.
16 seconds.
Wow, okay.
I'm going long. I think we're gonna get a long establishing shot.
Brad, go ahead.
12 seconds.
Nice. Huber, how many seconds till our first blink?
I'm going to say 7.
Ooh, the
Inside
new
scoop.
low. He's got that new low. I'm taking
If
the
it's 7
high.
on the nose, Huber.
Yeah, I feel like if I
highly
win this bet,
Yeah,
it's
must
like-
be
worry
nice,
about it,
Huber.
gentlemen.
yeah.
It will
Cheater.
be 36 seconds until we
Damn.
see a blink, because it's high drama.
You know Sam Lake likes those blinks, man.
Yeah. No, he doesn't. He likes the drama. He's like,
No, he's like, time that blink perfectly. Everything is laid out perfectly.
It's meticulous.
when you lock those bets in. Okay, let's talk about last week's bet. Last week we had a fun one. We've never done this before. MLB The Show 16 came out this week on both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3, a console that came out in 2006. Anyway,
Yeah, wow.
what we did was we looked at the user reviews on Amazon, simply meaning the number next to the stars, and compared the PS4 version to the PS3. How many more stars would the PS4 version have than the PS3 version?
Half a star.
No. Like, how many people? How many user reviews?
Oh, how many more reviews?
Yeah.
18.
Okay, yeah, you can bet now. You don't have to, like...
This is just
I
fun time.
like free
Okay.
bets. I like
Yeah,
free
yeah,
bets.
you got
No
a free bet.
stakes,
Yeah,
man.
no stakes
Let me
bet.
relax
What's
a little.
yours, Huber?
Like 8.
Okay, so here's what happened. Jones bet 88.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Ben bet 103.
Whoa,
Dude.
Bloodworth bet 147.
What?
And I bet 131.
You guys are insane.
We did a little bit of research. Anyway, I
Our
should
research is pretty dumb now that I think back in retrospect.
I should explain this to everybody. Me and Jones are on a team now. You two are on a team as like.
Co-op. Buddies for life.
Well, no. I mean, like you share those points with Bloodworth and Ben.
Oh.
Okay.
That's to keep you invested every single
So
week.
it's the
super
guests
guests.
versus you.
Yeah.
guests
Should we have
versus
team
hosts.
names?
Okay.
Guest versus hosts.
Yeah. Okay. So
Guest
you
versus host.
guest versus hosts.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So here's what happened. We went before the stream. We looked at like what the reviews were. The PlayStation 4 version of MLB The Show 16 had 14 reviews. The PS3 version had 2.
Yes.
So if you two were
You guys
here
were a
last
little
week,
off.
yeah, you
We
would
would've
have won.
crushed it.
Yeah, you would have. If you were here last week, you would have crushed
Tell
this.
me Ben and Blood got it.
No, Jones had the low bet with 88.
Oh my god.
I win the first bet.
You guys are insane.
Things are looking up.
Yeah, dude.
It's a wonderful world we live in.
New company, new Jones.
Yeah.
I swear we did research. I swear.
You're smartened up.
That's crazy. MLB's a big game.
Yeah. But
But
I mean,
it just happened.
it just came
That's
out
why when we
today.
got the hundreds.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
because it's been so long since.
Yeah.
Some guy picked it up at a bargain bin and reviewed it.
Oh
like-
my
long
god,
ago.
it just came out today. So yeah, Jones, you win. What you win is the rights and responsibility to tell everyone your Twitter name, to promote any one particular video that the Easy Allies are putting out at this week. What they can watch right now, what people can watch right now, or what's coming up, and to give everyone last word. We got to give you last word still. Anything you disagreed with that we talked about on this podcast, you can get the last word on, and then your trademark sign off. Oh, before you do, I want to once again thank Phantom NK for making this music, and tell everybody you can follow Phantom NK at Phantom NK on Twitter, and tell him to post the song, because It's not posted right now. You can't listen to this song anywhere else than this podcast.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
I'm bummed this is over already. I
Yeah,
just got
I know.
here.
It's
Just got
I
here.
just
what I
got
love-
here. It feels so good to be back.
It
Back
feels-
with the best host in the biz, Kyle Bossman.
And it's like, it's a late night show now. It got a whole
Yeah.
different vibe. I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah. This has
Oh,
been
it's
good.
already over.
cozy on the couch.
You'll be back. We'll do more.
Yeah. So far away.
But Jones, the table is now yours.
Thank you.
The
You can
microphone
follow
is
me
yours.
at Twitter. No, at Twitter. You follow me at Twitter. You follow me at Trailer Jones. My final word. Please do not call the thing Nintendo. Like, if it was called Nintendo, that reminds me. That reminds me of when your parents just like the NES back in the day. It's like, oh, you gonna go play your Nintendo? You know, it's like, no, it's not the Nintendo, Mom. It's the Nintendo Entertainment System. And then the Super Nintendo came out. Oh, you got another Nintendo? No, it's the Super Nintendo, Mom. So yeah, no Nintendo. I recommend that you watch. Can I do a Patreon exclusive? I mean, is that? Sure. I recommend you watch Cup of Jones. If you just give us $1 for our Patreon, you gain access to any show that will be exclusive for patrons. The first episode of Cup of Jones goes up tomorrow. I have not shot or edited this show yet, so I hope you like it. I hope
What
it's
is
good.
it? What's Cup of Jones?
It's me in a chair. It's split into 50-50. One half is me updating you on things you may or may not know about that the Allies are up to that week and the previous week, if I neglected to mention that in a previous episode of Cup of Jones. And then the other half is an editorial, which I've never had. I've never had a Kyle Bossman, Mike Huber, Ian Hank just sitting down spouting my opinions. Some will be more regular. I'll try to throw a couple of juicy ones in there where you're just like, okay, Jones, you're crazy, but you got your own show. It's fine.
Yeah. I've been begging for this.
Yeah, so
For a
it's
long
something we've
time.
been talking about for a long time. Because
Yeah.
I'll be on a stream and I'll just go on a tear for 10 minutes. People are like, you should, that shouldn't be part of a stream. That should be its own show.
Is it a
so.
place where you and I could talk about Batman v Superman in detail
You can prep me on it, but it's my show, baby.
after you see it?
After I see it, yeah. I'm sure the next Cup of Jones will be about Batman. v
Have you not
Superman.
seen it yet?
I have not seen it. No.
Okay, all right. Because
not in a rush.
A lot of people wanted to know our opinions
Yeah.
on it, actually,
Yeah,
in love and
not in a
respect.
rush to get out to see that film. Opinions on it did not change before it came out or after it came out. Everyone's opinions of it pretty much matched my expectations. So, so it's not something where I'm like, I need to come up with my own opinion. It's like, I think my opinion's probably I share it with everybody else, I would imagine.
But this is a cool thing. If you are any level of patron on patreon.com/easyallies, you get to see this cool weekly show that Jones is putting together.
Correct. I hope it's cool. I hope
Yeah.
you enjoy it. Did I do everything? And
your sign off.
And my sign off.
Yeah.
Allies assemble!